This is Jean Moore with More Than Sports. I am here with class of 2022, and he kind of plays some all over the field. Tight end, wide receiver, linebacker. I'm sure there's more in there as well. But Spencer McKelligon, did I say it
Hi.
right?
Yep.
Spencer, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So you go to Jesuit High School.
Right?
And then you also played 7-on-7 for MVP.
Yes, correct.
All right, which we'll talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. But what other sports do you play besides football?
I play basketball and lacrosse.
Okay, and lacrosse.
Yeah.
Lacrosse. Okay, that's see, I was expecting track or something like that, but yeah. Lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
So did you guys have a basketball season yet?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Our basketball season's supposed to be in June or something really late.
And what about lacrosse?
Lacrosse, I don't know when that's supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys are actually starting to play this Friday is your first game.
Yeah, our first game is against Central. Yeah.
Yeah. So how excited are you to really start your season?
I'm excited.
We're late, but
yeah. We waited a long time, and our guys have been putting in good work to finally have a season, so I'm excited to see what we can do.
Yeah, that's great. And especially like what you said against your rival, Central Catholic.
Against our rival.
So first game out of the right out, you guys are starting with a good team.
Yeah, we are. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, well, so SB Live Oregon just named you one of the best tight ends for the state of Oregon. What do you think about that? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good that I've been recognized for my athletic abilities, and I hope that this season and next season I could prove more about myself.
And tell me what all positions you play. I named a few.
I play tight end, receiver sometimes, mainly D end for this season, and then I play a little bit of linebacker.
And so what's your favorite one out of those to play?
Probably tight end. I love catching the ball. Yeah.
Like making those big plays?
Yeah, of course.
Now, what more do you really want to accomplish? You're a junior this year. What do you want to accomplish on and off the field before you graduate next year?
I would love to be a part of the first team All-State offense and defense. I think that's a great accomplishment leaving your high school career. Also, obviously, want to win a championship. I think we have the right guys to do that on our team and get some D1 offers so I can play at the next level.
And what about off the field?
Off the field, I want to maintain good grades so I can get into better chances to get into the schools that I want to get into.
And let's talk about that because you told me before we went live that you have a 3.5 GPA.
Right.
So where does that drive and determination come from for really maintaining those good grades? 3.5, that's pretty hard, especially right now with the pandemic. You guys have been doing the distance learning and all of that.
Yeah.
So where does that drive come from for you to really maintain those good grades?
So my mom and we've always wanted me to make honor roll and stay focused for my grades. And that drive comes from trying to impress her and do things for her. So I want to maintain good grades and make her proud.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, and like you said earlier, without those good grades anyway, you're not going to get into a D1 school, if any. Grades are so important to really maintain. I know so many kids that have had the talent on the field, but then waste it in the classroom, and don't apply themselves, so they can't go anywhere. And that's for me, I hate seeing that because you're kind of wasting away your brains, really. So
right.
You played 7-on-7 this year with MVP. How do you think that improved your game?
Well, with not having pads on, you're able to be more mobile, and it improved my footwork. And playing offense and defense, it helped me learn how to play positions better and learn how to play different coverages when I'm playing linebacker. So that was definitely a good step up to my game.
Did you went to Dallas as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Dallas.
And how was that? So I was there as well. I was in Dallas as well for that tournament. How was that
Yeah, it was
playing
awesome.
Sunday in AT&T Stadium?
It was unreal. It was cool to play on professional turf because that's my long-term dream is to play in the NFL. It was just a really cool experience.
It's kind of surreal being in that environment, isn't it? Like you're in a, Dallas Cowboy Stadium that has so much rich history, and you're playing on
Yeah,
their field, and
yeah,
you guys
it
did
was
a pretty good
awesome.
run there too. You guys did pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
we made it to the quarterfinals, so it was a
mhm.
good run. Yeah, I
And
think.
how was that playing against some of the best? I mean, you had a kid there that just committed to Florida State. There's kids that are 4 and 5 star athletes. How do you think that helps you improve as well?
Playing against really good athletes is how you get better and how you play your best. We also had a kid, our quarterback, he's from California. So playing with good people helps you also get better. And so it was a good opportunity when I
Yeah.
got to play there.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. That was a great pylon,
It was great.
put on a really good tournament. So how has the pandemic affected you, both positive and negative? I mean, it's
Positively, I've had more time to work out a lot of time. 'Cause no school, nothing to do. And that's about it. But negatively, not being able to see many people and missing out on end of my basketball season in the playoffs, and not being able to play summer and fall sports was a big one. But now we're playing fall sports. But yeah, it was tough.
in the spring.
Yeah, it's been-
Yes, because this really started last year.
yeah,
So, there's so much that was missed out on starting last year. So you've had kind of a year of, having it kind of rough as far as sports goes.
yeah.
How has that really affected you mentally, not being able to play sports?
Mentally, I had to stay strong because I knew the opportunity would come at some point, and you always have to stay ready. But yeah, mentally, it was very tough trying to get back on the field and play with my friends and stuff like that.
Now, talking about kind of doing the distance learning, how have you, what tools have you kind of put in place to make sure that you are on top of your grades, you're on top of your classwork, you're, in class when you're supposed to be, because really it's on you.
Yeah.
What tools have you really put in place to help you succeed in that?
Well, instead of doing school like in my bed, I get up and actually go to the table, so I'm not lazy, and eliminate the distractions to be able to focus on my teachers talking on the screen more. Because it's hard. You want to go on your phone and all that. Just doing this for 8 hours, yeah.
Yeah. I understand. Like I've had to work from home some, and so I get it. Like it's hard to stay focused when you're at home, and there are so many distractions, so many other things that you could be doing instead of school. It's so that's why, kind of maintaining that 3.5 GPA is impressive. It shows that you are somebody that's focused and wants to work hard. You want to achieve your goals, and I think that's great. So, who has been one of your biggest mentors in your life?
Definitely my mother, because all the things she does for me, it makes me want to do back for her, and just be a great son and a great role model to all my friends, stuff like that.
That's great. That's really good. I think every mom wants to hear that, and
Yeah, definitely.
it sounds like your mom has raised a very good son. So
Thank you.
kudos to her for the work that she's done. And now you've advocated for sports to be played in Oregon. I read an article that you went to the rallies and did that kind of a thing. And we've kind of talked about this, but how hard has it been not playing?
It's been difficult. Yeah, the rallies my mom and some of her friends held, and they helped a lot. They helped raise awareness, and other rallies started to come up, and it really helped push the season start.
That's great. Well, and I'm so thankful that you guys are getting to play. There's that kid at Lake Ridge, I
Yeah,
believe, that just committed suicide. And, I think sports are kind of a big part of your lives. It helps with all of that. How do you think that sports, really help you as far as in that mental state? It's so easy to get down, no matter if there's a pandemic or not. How do you think sports really help your emotional well-being?
Sports, I play sports all the time. It's like the main thing I do. And if I didn't have sports, it would be very hard for me. I wouldn't know what else to do. And sports bring back most of my friends I've made are from sports. And the most time I see my friends are while playing sports. So
Right.
hard time.
Now, out of those three sports, basketball, football, and lacrosse, do you have a favorite out of those three?
Yeah, it was hard for a long time to pick a favorite, but football's definitely number one.
Football's one number one. And why is that? What is it about football that you like the best?
So for football, the first time I was in a varsity locker room and I was under the lights, it was an amazing experience. And my family's a big football fan. My uncle played football, and just bringing that tradition to the family and keeping with football and just love the sport. Yeah, so that's why it's my favorite for sure.
So, what do you think? Sounds like your coaches are pretty, pretty great and supportive. What do you think makes a good coach?
Definitely has to be able to connect with the kids,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely has to be strong and not. And I mean, let's see. Yeah, a good coach definitely has. If you connect with the kids and you gain the respect, they'll want to play harder for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think doing that as a coach is really important to the first step in being a good team.
And how do you think 7-on-7? It's a lot different than your normal high school team. Do you think that helps you as well? Connect with the coaches, your 7-on-7 coaches. It's kind of more one-on-one in a way because it's a smaller team. Do you think that helps you as well? You have your high school coaches that you can go to. Do you feel like the 7-on-7 is kind of the same way, but maybe a little bit easier because there's less kids?
Yeah, 7-on-7, it's easier to communicate with your coaches on what you can do better because you said there are less kids on the team, so there's more opportunity to be able to help get better and talk with your coaches on what you can do.
What do you think one thing that you have gotten better at playing 7-on-7 that will help you? I know I kind of already asked this a little bit, but what's just that one thing that you have learned playing 7-on-7 that will really, really help you play your normal high school season?
Definitely talking on the field because
Mm-hmm.
there were less fans of these 7-on-7 games, and talking on the field, it was easier to hear people and speak to people, and communicating is the biggest part into winning, and talking was it definitely helped and taught me during 7-on-7.
Now you're going to be an upperclassman playing this year for Jesuit. What qualities do you think that you're going to really have to help the team succeed on the field, being now an upperclassman?
I think being so we have a lot of senior starters, and being a junior, I'm gonna have to start being able to lead for my team going into next year also, and being a leader is going to be very important to me, and helping the younger kids on the team feel more comfortable and being a bigger part of the team than they think they are, and the seniors also mentoring me how to be a good leader is going to be very good for our team chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that will be good because then next year you're going to know what to do as well for the the underclassmen, being that leader and being more vocal and, really teaching them and helping them. It's good that you understand, especially for the upperclassmen, it's sometimes kids think they know it all. So to be able to know that you can learn from the seniors, they just went through it. So, they kind of know just one more year of what you know. So, you can learn from anybody. And so I think that's a good to know. What is your dream for the future? You kind of already alluded to it, but what's your dream?
I want to play D1 football for college, and I want to get some good degrees to get a good basis of what I want to do if that doesn't work out. And the long-time goal is going to the NFL and making money playing football would be great.
So what do you want to do? What do you want to get your degrees in?
Business and sports marketing. I'm definitely into the sports world, and I think I could bring some knowledge or something in the sports world.
That's great. So if you win, I'm not gonna say if, when you go to the NFL and you make all this money, what's
Yeah.
one thing you're gonna do with that money?
Buy my mom something special. I think I do. Yeah. Probably a car, house, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's and you can do that even if you don't make it in the NFL, which
Of course.
I'm praying that you do. So I'm not saying that.
Thank you.
So what's one challenge that you've had to overcome in your life? And how did you overcome it?
Probably the biggest challenge is not having a father figure around my life. I've been able to learn a lot of things I think I wouldn't have learned if he was around, and I take that to my advantage or in a positive way.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I think every negative, there's definitely positives. And if more people kind of focused on those positives instead of the negatives,
Right.
it's just going to do way better for you in your life, focusing on those positives. And so, that is hard, but do you think sports has helped you with that? Because, you have many coaches, you have basketball coaches, you have lacrosse coaches, you have football coaches and 7-on-7. Do you feel like that's really helped? Nothing's ever going to take the place of necessarily, but do you think that's helped you?
Oh, definitely. I've definitely made a lot of great connections and relationships with my coaches throughout elementary school all the way to now. It's definitely stuck with me, especially my football coaches. That's also another reason why football is my favorite sport. So.
That's great. Just shows how important coaches are.
Yeah.
You've seen some good coaches and some bad, not you, but there's some good coaches and there's some bad coaches. And those good coaches for me are the ones that definitely understand the role that they have and the impact that they have.
That's important.
It is. They can take it just as a job, or they can take it as something serious and be a life changer. So it sounds like you've had those life changers in your life, and that's amazing. So shout out to all your coaches that are watching this.
Yeah.
Good job stepping in for Spencer here. Do you have any advice for kids that have gone through what you've gone through, or play multiple sports, or with your grades? Do you have any advice for the people that are watching?
Yeah, definitely keep playing your sports, because the relationships you make are going to change your life and you'll have them forever. And also you get good connections from those people.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Well, Spencer, that's all the questions I have. So that was pretty easy, right?
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. You have a very bright future, and I can't wait to see where you go from here.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate it.
This is Jean Moore from More Than Sports. Thanks for watching.